3 ingredients, no flour, and it comes out this creamy. I'm not joking, but be careful. There's a trick here. Eggs, cream cheese, and milk chocolate. Nothing else. When I saw this recipe, I said, no way, this can't turn out well. But when you try it, it's a different story. One trick is to break the chocolate directly inside the container. And now pay attention, because this is where a lot of people mess up. If you burn the chocolate, you might as well start over. So, if you're going to melt it in the microwave, set it to medium power and use very short intervals. And if you don't want to take any risks, use a pot with water, another pot on top, medium heat, and keep stirring. Basically, a classic double boiler. So I'm going to open the package, grab a pot, and put it inside. There it is. By the way, what's your favorite chocolate brand? Lately, I like all of them. I know, I can't even decide. I've put 160 grams of white chocolate here. A saucepan with hot water, and I place this one inside. Once the water heats up the saucepan, the chocolate starts to melt. The trick is to stir it every now and then, about every half a minute or a minute. That way, the heat spreads more quickly. And you finish sooner. It's like magic. Suddenly you look and wow! Now it's softer than before. And you keep doing this until it's completely liquid and you don't find any lumps. The first time I did it, you told me, and this hard chocolate is gonna end up like a rock. If I turn it into a cake, I'll do some weightlifting. Look, I'm still trying to make as little mess as possible, so the same saucepan on a cutting board. As soon as it comes out warm, you give the chocolate a final stir to make sure it's smooth, and then add the cream cheese, or cream cheese spread. I don't know what you call it. Well, in many places, people just call it by the brand, Philadelphia, but any store brand will work just fine. You can see, I'm not doing anything strange, just stirring and mashing it a little so both textures come together as one. Just like when we were melting the chocolate, as time goes by, you can see how it keeps melting down more and more, until you finally achieve a homogeneous texture. And also, that characteristic shine of good quality chocolate. In this case, it will be a white chocolate and cheese cream. Fantastic. And now, 2 options. Do you want a soft and fluffy texture? Separate the egg whites from the yolks. Beat the egg whites well and fold them in gently with gentle folding motions. And if you want it to be a dense pudding-style cake, just add everything at once without making things complicated. In any case, there are no more ingredients, just 3. No yeast, no flour, nothing else. But it's crucial that you mix it very well, okay? Now, in a large bowl, we add 4 whole eggs. I use size L eggs. And I like to mix the egg whites with the yolks a bit. It's kind of optional. Some people just do it directly, but I don't know. I think that if you mix the egg whites with the yolks a bit first, then everything mixes more easily. So this minute I'm spending now, I'm going to save 2 or 3 later. I think it's worth it. Once you have this mixed, you add the shiny paste we had in the saucepan. Here we go! Let's pour it all out. And if you use a spatula, even better. That way, you'll make use of every last drop. Come on, everything goes in. And as you can imagine, there's nothing to it but mixing again. Basically, we've mixed the chocolate, we've mixed the cheese and the eggs. Easier than ever. It couldn't be easier. I use a whisk to speed things up a bit. But you could easily do it without any tools, just with a fork. But hey, if you have them, you save yourself some time. In the end, you should end up with a creamy and smooth texture. You shouldn't see the egg on one side and the cream on the other. So, I think I'm already getting it. If you've ever wondered how to properly line a pan, today I'll show you. It's optional, you could just grease it with butter, but since the cream is liquid, I prefer to use parchment paper. As you can see, I've measured a piece of paper large enough to cover the whole pan completely. In my case, it's 20 centimeters in diameter. I've cut it, I place it on top of the base, and with the ring, the bottom is already well lined. Then, I spread a little butter. Why? Well, so the paper sticks. If something leaks, it will also come off easily. Once I have it, I place strips of paper that are slightly taller than the height of the ring. And that way, I can slide it so that it covers the entire side surface. That's how easy it is to get a perfectly lined pan. The next step, I hope it doesn't surprise anyone. Take that pan we just prepared and fill it with the cream we also made earlier. That's it, we just pour it in and it's ready. Of course, while we're doing this, we can start preheating the oven. It needs to be hot when we're about to put the pan inside. I set it to 175 degrees Celsius. That's about 350 if you're using Fahrenheit. Use heat from both the top and bottom. If your oven has convection, use it. If not, there's nothing you can do. You'll need to leave it in until you see it's golden brown. It takes about 30 minutes, but it also depends a bit on the pan and the height of the oven. It's normal to have doubts as you keep an eye on the oven for a while. This will work. As soon as you see that golden color on top, take it out. You can tell just by looking that this will be delicious. It took mine 35 minutes to look this good. Stick a toothpick in the center, and if it comes out clean, cake or tart or pie, whatever you call it, but it's ready. Remember to cover it so the liquid spreads evenly and settles flat. We don't want it to go down on one side and not on the other. We want it to compact evenly. While it's still hot, right after taking it out of the oven, cover it with paper towel or absorbent paper. And yes, don't be alarmed, it comes out very tall. Don't worry, it will settle down and all the flavors will come together. So when we take a spoonful, we're going to get all the punch at once. When it's lukewarm, put it in the fridge or refrigerator. Because these types of cakes or pudding-style desserts taste much better when they're chilled. And also, they firm up a bit and enhance the flavors. Then, you take it out, and when the time comes, enjoy. At least a couple of hours in the fridge, but if you want, you can prepare it a day in advance. And then, just unmold and enjoy. But the best part is still coming. Do you agree it has an amazing color and looks incredible? It can get even better. Sprinkle a little powdered sugar through a strainer or something similar. And look how it gets shinier. Even more spectacular with very little effort. And to cut it, it's best to use a slightly wet knife with a bit of moisture. Why? Because it will slide much better. For this kind of dessert, that's what you need. But not for sponge cakes. For those, you need a serrated knife. All right, let's cut a piece and enjoy. Look how good it looks. It's like a bonbon, only whole. This is so good, oh my gosh! Well, you know, if you like the idea or want to look into more tasty ideas, this is the place for you. And I hope to see you here in the next video. Delicious.
Así no empieza la emoción, con pasos simples sin complicación.